Hi, welcome to Wrinkles Society of Hope. My name is Summer Carter and I am founder of Wrinkles. Today you will hear a motivational story from a woman that had to press through her wrinkles in order to become the dynamic jewel that she is today. I would love to do an interview with you, so hit me up so we can do an interview together. But in the meantime, continue to follow, subscribe, and share this channel. Hit that notification bell so that you can hear the amazing stories that come from the women's of Wrinkles. I am so happy you came today, and I cannot wait to hear from you soon. Hello, Wrinkles family. I am so excited. First of all, happy August. We are excited to bring this amazing woman that I just met, and she was so gracious to come on. And also yesterday, we're recording on August 2nd, but yesterday was Sunflower Day. So it just befitting to have her started off because she's such a sunflower. She's such a blossom of joy and peace and does amazing things to help other women glow and grow in our community. So I had to invite her to come to our Wrinkles family. So I'm going to have her introduce herself to you all today.
Well, thank you, Summer. I am so happy to be here among the Wrinkle family. And thank you for that wonderful and gracious introduction that you just did. And like she said, we just met not even a month. It hasn't been even a month now. And again, my name is Dr. Ann Williamson, and I have been in education, believe it or not. And I think I told you this, for over 50 years in education. And don't let your eyes pop out, please. And those who are listening, don't faint, okay? I don't want you to have brain damage or anything like that. So yes, I am still teaching. I hail from Chicago, Illinois. I've been in Arizona for almost 30 years now, and I am still teaching. And that's the just the tip of the iceberg. And I have my own company. It's called AEW Educational Enterprises, where we help, of course, students, and my wonderful target are women over 50. And if you aren't over 50, you'll get there one day. So okay.
Yes.
Go take it from there, Summer.
Well, yes, we are going to get there one day. I'm going to get there probably pretty soon. 2 more years for me to get that. What's it, 1.5. I'm knocking on 50's door. But, you know, as she says, 50 years in the education world, that is amazing. And as I know you guys were doing the same thing I did when I met her. 50 years? How? Because you look young. You look like you just started teaching. So, you know.
Well, thank you. And you know what? And that's an interesting thing that you should say that, because I was in a meeting on Friday and I was gathered with some sisters. And they said, "Oh my gosh, look at us. It's the melanin that's in us." You know what that old saying goes, and I don't even know if I should even say it on your podcast.
Say it.
Say it. Well, you know what they say. Black don't crack.
That is exactly what they say.
And then I heard a new one this year. Beige don't fade. And I said, "Oh, okay."
Well,
So that's a new one.
That's a new one.
That's a new one. So
Yes.
yeah, black don't crack, beige don't fade. So there you go.
Well, there you go. Well, as you got to your glorious age, if you want to share your age, did you have any physical changes, and how did you accept those changes, or how did you feel about those changes that you had?
And physical changes, are you talking about physical looks or just
like a gray hair or a wrinkle or some kind of physical change? Aging changes.
The aging. Okay, everybody goes through some type of aging process,
Mm-hmm.
some more than others, some earlier than others, some way later than others. You asked about my age. My age is 74 years old. And I know you shake your head like, what the? Yeah. And I also put it on my heredity. I think it's because of my parents. They did not, they aged slowly as far as features are concerned. They had other ailments, body, physical ailments. But as I was growing up, I remember my mother was a beautician. And I remember when I was a teenager, she said, don't use the makeup. Back then, she said, don't use that makeup because it was something with the makeup back in those days that it would change the composition of your skin. So I will always remember that. And I didn't use makeup not until I got older. And so I didn't use that kind of makeup. Physical changes, another hereditary thing is my mother's side, they grayed early. So about the age of 25, I saw my first gray strand of hair. And of course I covered it up. So nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors. So, you know, I'll
Right.
leave it at that. But as far as other ailments, I've been good. I've been blessed to be in the physical condition that I am in. I'm able to walk without a cane. I'm able to do a lot of things that some people my age. I remember my mother, she had chronic arthritis. And when she was in her 40s, she had me late. So I remember in her late 40s and her 50s, she was with a cane because she had arthritis in both of her knees. And so, therefore, I always said, I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to do whatever it takes not to be like that. So far, God has blessed me that I haven't, I do have aches and pains every now and then, but it's not to the extent where I'm not going to be, I want to say, crippled. And my grandmother was crippled and confined to a wheelchair. So those are some of the hereditary things that I refuse to have. So I take care of myself. And that's a good thing, and a lot of our women, it's a lifestyle. And some people choose to do a particular lifestyle. They don't get their rest. They don't get their nutrition. They don't do this. They don't do that. But I want to think that that's part of why I may not look as old as I do. But then again, also want to put it on hereditary because my mother didn't look as old as she was. As well, yeah, that's it. That's my story. I'm sticking to that one.
Well, yeah, you and it's something that you said kind of was in my family as well. They said don't wear makeup when you're young. They don't cake it on. I still rarely wear makeup. My mom rarely. I don't think my mom still doesn't wear makeup sometimes. And it was just taught from generation to generations, and I think that was something really big. Back in the days when makeup was a little bit heavier too.
Hmm.
And so it did hinder things. And it's
Yeah.
something about going through our lives and seeing those before us that we start making changes in our lives so that we can have a better outcome at our age, right?
Right.
With
Right now.
making better choices, like you said.
Right. But don't get me wrong. I do wear makeup, but I
Hmm.
don't wear it often. And
Yeah.
when I do wear makeup, I put it on lightly so it has that natural appearance. But then, there are some people out there who put makeup on. You can see every line, dot, and everything on there, even though it's really heavy. It emphasizes some people's imperfections more than trying to hide them. So, and if you have a good makeup artist, that I don't, but it's just me. It may help. So there you go. That's another thing.
Right. I wish I did have a makeup artist, but I figure it out on my own, with the little
Right.
bit that I do. And,
Right. Exactly.
as we go through and we jump through learning things, what is something that you had to learn through a wrinkle that you had to press through in your life?
Ooh, we. And I looked at that word wrinkle because we have two different meanings of wrinkle here. We have the wrinkles that, if we let it, settle in our faces and our eyebrows and everything, or we have that wrinkle that, everything is going so smoothly in your life, and then wham, there's that wrinkle that I think you're speaking of right now. So that wrinkle that we may come in across in our road of life could be anything. It could be the day that not we decide that it might be a financial crisis. And, when some people, or even myself, we might be living paycheck to paycheck, and then that one day that paycheck comes on the next day and everybody else's bills comes the day before, and then it's like, oh no, this is not a good thing. So that might be one of my wrinkles, my wrinkle in time, quote unquote, a book that's out there, Wrinkle in Time. Did you read that as a child, Wrinkle in Time?
Yeah.
So, that could be when a financial crisis may have hit me, and then it may have caused me to start all over again. And when you start all over again, you might get to that point in the valley. You go down into the valley and you think there's no way that you can get out. But then if you put your trust in God, that valley is only temporary. And there are lessons to be learned in the valley.
Mm.
And then when you learn those lessons in the valley, then you're able to go step by step and climb out of the valley until you reach another plateau. You're not as far down in the valley as before, but you're maybe not as high as you want to be or where you're going to be. So you just take it day by day and know that this too shall pass, and we will persevere, that we will move on up. I had to learn that lesson, and I'm still learning as the days go by. Even at 74, there are days when I said, okay, when is this going to happen? I'm going to, this got to get better, or it's better than before, and it's going to get even better now. So, and we just say, thank you, God, for where we are, and thank you for the blessings that you continuously bestow upon us. And we move forward just like that.
Like that. That's so true. I think sometimes we think eventually things are just going to fall into place and be magical, right? And I think as women, sometimes we're so seeking things to just be resolved and be easy at all times, but we have to remember that it's always maybe be something else, but we can get through it.
Exactly.
We can get through it.
Exactly. And sometimes crises seem to just come. What? Okay, let me give you an example of this summer. My car decided it needed to have a transplant, a transmission transplant. Okay,
Mm.
that's one thing. Then after I got that, go through that, then the next thing, why isn't it getting cooler in here? Uh-oh. Then that crisis happened to be the what? Air conditioning. And then one day, the electricity in the kitchen, the flickering of the lights and the electricity went, it's like, what is going on? It's like one thing after another. But guess what? Guess what? I've
Hmm.
got through it.
Hmm.
I'm through it.
Right. Right. What
Yeah.
advice would you give to those women that feel like, they're in that valley constantly and they feel like they're never going to get higher? What advice would you give them to get through it?
I would say to them, um, you know, the valley, when you go it, sometimes you just stumble into the valley. It's not just gradual steps. It's just like boom, you just feel like you just tumbled in there
Right.
overnight. And just, if they are a person of faith, put your faith where it needs to be. And that, for me is the presence of God. But if you're not, just know that this too shall pass, and that, if there are things or people that they can surround themselves, the positive people, not the naysayers,
Mhm.
because you're always going to find a naysayer. I told you that wasn't going to work. I told you that girl crazy. No, find the ones, the encouragers,
Mhm.
who are going to be there to help encourage you to take that step when you feel like you can't even move forward.
Right. That's so solid, because sometimes I think it's hard because we feel so strong.
Mhm.
We tell ourselves we're so strong. Then we try to do it all by ourselves. We keep it internal, and then it becomes so heavy, we don't know how to get through it.
Exactly. And you just don't know. And you know what? And sometimes when you're in that valley, you ask a little word that seems so very huge is why?
Mm.
Why me? Why this time? Why? 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 And why not you? Because, whatever happened to me years ago, I have a story to tell you today that may help somebody right now.
That's true.
So you just don't know who you're going to help. It goes back to this old song. If I can help somebody along the way, then my living is not in vain.
Mm. Right. Yes, we have purpose for that. That's one of
We
our
have the purpose.
purpose.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
I think society today, we see Facebook posts and Instagram posts, and we see all the positive posts, but we don't know. And exactly why, this is why I developed Wrinkles, is because we see all that positive, but we don't know what those people have been through to get to that positive post.
hmm And you know what? And it's nothing wrong with us having wrinkles.
Hmm.
Nothing wrong with us experiencing wrinkles in our lives, whether it is on our face, whether it is on that invisible path of life. There's nothing wrong with wrinkles. In fact, I heard a long time ago say, if you don't have a wrinkle, maybe you ain't living life. Well, I guess I'm not, I ain't got no wrinkle. But anyway, there's nothing wrong with having a wrinkle. There's nothing wrong with having those 11 lines, that 11 number right there. There's nothing wrong, yeah, right there. And there's nothing wrong with having a laugh line here. There's nothing wrong.
Mm. No. And even those
Nothing.
internal wrinkles is a story itself. And if you
Exactly.
have those to push you through, to remind
Exactly.
you that, what, I pushed through so much, but that wrinkle
Mhm.
didn't stop me. It doesn't define me today. It's just something that I have a story. I have something that I pressed through. And even though you can still see it a little bit, it's still, I'm here. I'm still here.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
And
Yes.
as you're still here and beautiful
Oh, thank
and
you.
still doing so many amazing things, and let's say you got a t-shirt made that represents the woman you are today, what would that t-shirt say?
Well, it would say this because my brand, what I try to teach my kids, what I try to project to women that I help, and is I my is joy. It's all about joy. And if on the T-shirt it would say, "Just outshine yesterday." J, just. O, outshine. Y, yesterday. So you don't have to be, like I said, when you are at the bottom of in the valley and you reach that plateau, are you doing better than you did the day before? So if we remember the joy that is deep within and you are just outshining yesterday, then you have joy.
You have
You have
joy.
joy.
I
You
love
have
that.
joy.
I
You have
love
joy.
that.
Thank
Joy.
you. Joy.
Yes. We all need that shirt. We all need
Yeah.
that shirt. Just
So you're gonna make
outshine
me.
yesterday.
So you're gonna make me go buy some shirts, huh? And
Yep.
go on the have a little corner on a little box on the corner. Hey, shirts, joy,
Listen,
$10.
you ain't have to be on the corner. Look, all of us women will buy that shirt because it's so meaningful for us to have joy in the midst of everything that we're going through. You need to seek your joy, grab onto it. You
Yes,
know, they say joy cometh in the morning.
exactly, exactly,
Joy cometh in
exactly.
the morning. And you
Yes,
continue to bring joy to your
I do.
community
I
with so many
do.
things that you're doing. So, can you tell us the things, even when I met you, you brought joy to me being a part of such a great day. Talk about the things you're doing in the
Oh my
mighty
gosh.
sun of Arizona and other places.
Okay. Well, I would be remiss if I did not mention the 50 Shades of Tangerine
Yes.
coming up on August the 22nd, and which is, it was a fabulous, our first one for the 50 Shades of Yellow, and I was almost saying 50 Shades of that other color, but I'm not going to say that. But it's a wonderful get together of women who want to fellowship, to worship with other like-minded women and exchange numbers, exchange information, and just go about their lives knowing that the connections are real, that the connections will help either one or all people. And so we're going to be doing it again with 50 Shades of Tangerine. So what is that? So the women were going to come out with their favorite orange colors and tangerine and I would say nectar. What is that? Nectarine and peach colors and all of those wonderful shades of melon, like cantaloupe and all of that. So, can you imagine all of those blending in together and having a wonderful brunch together, eating and chatting and just learning from one another? So, that's coming up on August the 22nd. What else that I am doing? I am also with my AEW Educational Enterprises. I also have I will call it a pillar, and it is called After Dark, not After Dark, After Work Concierge, which is after you come home from work and you are wanting to do work, but you just don't want to do it. Well, my business is, yeah, I know. The concierge is helping people to actually kind of teach them a little bit more about AI, or if they are afraid about AI, I'm the girl who is going to do the work for you and teach you a little bit about AI. So yeah,
That
that's what
is
I'm working on.
That's amazing. So how would those educators get in contact to get that support?
They can get in touch with me. You want telephone numbers? You want, what do you want? Email
However
addresses?
you want them, all the things that you want them to
All
reach
of the
out.
things. Okay, my telephone number is 480-330-1933, 480-330-1933. And my email address, they can easily get to me through, let's see, AD, excuse me, DRANELWIAI at gmail.com. Let me repeat that again. DRANELWIAI at gmail.com.
All right. Well, those links are
Okay.
coming across, so you can link with those. Or if you're listening in, you can write those down, rewind, and get those links for you.
Ooh-wee.
And I am so excited that Tangerine is, but you have more dates coming after that, right?
Yes,
For,
yes, yes.
and what's the
So
name of the organization that's doing that? Because you didn't mention
the
that.
name of the organization is, in which you don't even know it, you part of it too, girl, is the Arizona Desert Divas.
Yeah. Yes.
You're
Amazing
dying.
things.
And wait a minute. And let me just say that divas is just not divas. And yes, we are divalicious.
Mhm.
However, we are divinely inspired, victorious, and anointed. There you go.
Yes, yes. I love an acronym, as you would know on my website. I have nothing but acronyms,
I
but they're
love that.
powerful, powerful acronyms.
Yes.
And I'm speaking to being, like I said, I enjoyed myself so much. I was in
Mhm.
my yellow, so that's why I
Yes,
wore
you were.
yellow again today. Because, and it was something, I'm just speaking as a testimony for the event. I went alone. I didn't take a friend with me. I walked in there and was greeted with love from the door. And then from on, just met some amazing women, like she said, like-minded women. So please attend. It goes really quick. The seats go really fast.
You know
Uh,
that's right, because we are almost at capacity right
ah,
now.
for the
And
22nd.
for the 22nd, and but the date for next month, September already, and we're talking about fall into fabulous.
Oh,
So
I love it.
imagine, okay, because guess what, next month it would be autumn and fall already, so we're going to fall into being our fabulous selves next
Mm.
month. And then let's take it on to October, where we're going to walk on the wild side. Imagine coming in your animal print of your favorite animal.
Mm.
So you can growl all you want to, okay?
And I'm a native of Arizona.
Oh, really?
I am a native of Arizona, and it's very difficult to connect in Arizona with women of culture. Uh, and find events that are just made for us. So I was really excited. This is the first time I was stepping out of my comfort zone to do that. And this was, I mean, I go to sorority things, but this was something outside of that. And I really enjoyed it. I think it was, first of all, well put together, and it
Thank
was
you.
just perfect. It was perfect. So I am telling you all, it might be too late for August 22nd, but there is more events coming. You follow them on your page. Make sure you follow Dr. Ann on your page and just see the great things that are coming, the great things that she's doing. I'm excited to be a part of such a great amount of women, great women that are here doing great things. Great things. I made very,
Okay.
very great connections.
Well, thank
So,
you. Thank you, Summer. Thank you for the wonderful words of uplifting and encouragement for us, because we all we see is great things happening for the women here in Arizona, and for whatever God has placed in our hearts and minds to do, we're gonna have to follow through on those things. So it's all good.
It's all
It's
good.
all good. It's all
Well,
good.
I thank you so much for coming to the Wrinkles table today.
Okay, thank you for having me and asking me to be at the Wrinkles table.
Yes. So you all make sure you follow. You see those links coming across. You go ahead and follow, and also you can see them in the comments on our audio on Apple Podcasts. But I'm so happy you came, and we will probably have you back again when we start doing some live.
Ooh, live. Okay, all right, and maybe, and just maybe, one day when you are available at one of our gatherings, you might want to do some interviews at one of our events.
I would love to. I would love to. That would be amazing. All right, Wrinkles, you follow. You guys have a good one. Bye, Wrinkles.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, Wrinkles.